You walk into the kitchen and forget why you are there. Normal? Maybe, but here is something most people do not know. 45% of dementia cases can be prevented. Today, I am sharing 7 dementia warning signs doctors look for, what causes it in your brain, and proven ways to protect yourself. One of these signs can show up 10 years before memory loss even starts. Right now, 57 million people worldwide are living with dementia, and that number grows by 1 person every 3 seconds. But here is what gives me hope, and why I wanted to make this video for you today. The latest research from 2024 shows we have more control than we thought. I am not going to give you the same old generic advice you have heard before. Instead, I am walking you through the actual Alzheimer's disease symptoms that doctors use to diagnose patients, the real science behind what happens in your brain, and specific actions backed by major studies that may help protect you. Let us start with the 7 classic warning signs. Symptom number 1, memory loss that disrupts daily life. Have you ever forgotten where you put your keys? Of course, we all do that. But what if you put your wallet in the freezer and could not remember doing it at all? That is the difference. Short-term memory loss that disrupts daily life looks like asking the same question 3 times in 10 minutes, or forgetting a whole conversation you just had this morning. You know it is not normal aging when you cannot retrace your steps because there is no memory of it happening. And if this is happening to you or someone you love, I want you to know you are not imagining it. Symptom number 2, trouble planning and problem solving. Can you balance your checkbook like you used to? Here is what executive function decline really looks like in everyday life. Someone who cooked Thanksgiving dinner for 30 years suddenly burns the turkey, forgets side dishes, and serves everything 2 hours late. Or paying bills becomes impossible, not because of arthritis in your hands, but because numbers stop making sense. And here is something that surprised researchers: this symptom often shows up before memory problems do. So if planning your day feels harder than it used to, or following a recipe you know by heart suddenly confuses you, pay attention to that. Symptom number 3, confusion with time or place. Your neighbor drives to the grocery store she has been going to for 20 years, and suddenly she does not know how to get back home. This is getting lost dementia, and it is one of the scariest symptoms for families. People lose track of what day it is, what season we are in, or they wake up at 2 a.m. thinking it is time to go to work. The danger here is real. Someone might leave the house and not remember their address, or get confused about where they are, even in their own living room. If you notice this happening, do not wait to get help. Symptom number 4, difficulty with words and conversation. Imagine trying to ask for a glass of water, but the word just will not come out, so you say that thing you drink from instead. This is aphasia symptoms in action. People stop mid-sentence because they lost their train of thought, they call a watch a hand clock, or they point at things because naming them feels impossible. The emotional toll is huge because you know what you want to say, but your brain cannot find the words. Conversations become exhausting, and many people start avoiding them completely. Symptom number 5, trouble with visual perception. What if your eyes work perfectly fine, but your brain cannot judge how far away the car in front of you is? That is a visual spatial problem, and it makes driving dangerous. People misjudge distances when parking, have trouble with stairs because depth looks off, or they cannot tell if their coffee cup is full or empty just by looking. Some folks stop recognizing faces of people they have known for years. This is not about needing glasses, it is about how your brain processes what your eyes see. Symptom number 6, poor judgment and decision making. A woman who never spent money carelessly suddenly gives a phone scammer $5,000, or someone wears 3 jackets on a hot summer day. These dementia behavior changes show up as poor judgment that puts people at risk. Scammers target older adults because they know this symptom makes people vulnerable. They cannot weigh if something sounds too good to be true anymore. Safety becomes a concern too, leaving the stove on, not locking doors, or trusting strangers with personal information. The person does not realize their judgment has changed. Symptom number 7, mood and personality changes. Here is what shocks most families: early dementia personality changes can happen years before any memory loss shows up. Your gentle father becomes angry over small things, your outgoing mother suddenly wants to stay home all the time, or someone who never worried about anything becomes anxious and fearful. These are not just mood swings, we are talking about a complete shift in who the person has always been. And I need you to hear this: if you are seeing these changes in someone you love, trust what you are noticing. So what is actually happening inside the brain to cause these symptoms? Let me break down the main types because understanding this matters for your brain health. Alzheimer's disease is responsible for 60 to 80% of all dementia cases according to the CDC, and it comes down to two troublemakers in the brain, amyloid plaques and tau tangles. Think of amyloid as sticky clumps that build up between your brain cells and tau as twisted fibers that form inside them. A study published in the Nature journal in 2024 actually showed us for the first time what these plaques look like in real human brain tissue using a special imaging technique, and researchers found that the tangles are what really drive cognitive decline. Vascular dementia is the second most common type, and it happens when blood flow to your brain gets blocked or reduced. Your brain cells need oxygen, and when they do not get enough, they die. Scientists just discovered something called the glymphatic system, which is like your brain's cleanup crew that works mostly while you sleep, and when this system does not work right, toxic proteins build up faster. Then there is Lewy body dementia, where 80% of people see things that are not really there, like children playing in an empty room, and their alertness goes up and down throughout the day. Frontotemporal dementia hits younger people, often under 65, and it changes personality and behavior first before touching memory. Now, here is what you need to understand, and this is where hope comes in. The 2024 Lancet Commission found 14 risk factors we can actually do something about, and addressing these could prevent 45% of dementia cases. Let me share the 7 most powerful strategies backed by science. Strategy number 1, physical exercise. First up, exercise prevents dementia in ways that might surprise you. You do not need to run marathons, just 150 minutes of moderate activity each week makes a real difference. When you move your body, your brain releases something called BDNF, which helps brain cells grow and connect better. Exercise also increases blood flow, bringing fresh oxygen while flushing out toxic proteins. Even a daily 30-minute walk counts. Strategy number 2, Mind diet. What you eat matters more than you think for brain-healthy foods. The Mind diet cut Alzheimer's risk by 53% in studies, and it is not complicated. Load up on leafy greens like spinach at least 6 times a week, eat berries twice a week, especially blueberries, have fish once a week, snack on nuts daily, and use olive oil for cooking. Cut back on red meat, butter, and fried foods. Simple swaps that protect your brain. Strategy number 3, blood pressure control. Managing your blood pressure is huge for cutting hypertension dementia risk. A 2025 study with over 33,000 people found that controlling blood pressure lowered dementia risk by 15%. Your target should be below 130/80, and if you are on medication, take it every day like your doctor tells you. High blood pressure damages the tiny blood vessels in your brain, and that damage adds up over years. Get it checked regularly. Strategy number 4, quality sleep. While you sleep, your brain is actually doing something amazing. It is running a sleep-brain detox system. Scientists call it the glymphatic system, and it washes out all the toxic proteins that build up during the day, including the same proteins linked to Alzheimer's. But here is the catch: this cleanup only happens during deep sleep. You need 7 to 8 hours every night for your brain to do this housekeeping work properly. Strategy number 5, hearing protection. This might shock you. Protecting your hearing is the single biggest thing you can control when it comes to hearing loss dementia. Out of all 14 risk factors, untreated hearing loss accounts for 7% of cases, more than any other. The good news is that people who wear hearing aids have almost the same dementia risk as people with normal hearing. If you struggle to hear conversations, get tested and actually use the hearing aids if you need them. Strategy number 6, social connection. Staying connected to people is not just nice, it is protective. Social isolation dementia goes up by 27% when people spend too much time alone. Your brain needs the workout that comes from conversations, laughing with friends, and being part of a community. Call a friend once a week, join a group at your local library or church, have coffee with neighbors, or video chat with family. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking for your brain. Strategy number 7, cognitive stimulation. 7th, keep your brain busy learning new things because cognitive reserve works like a savings account for your mind. People who challenge their brains throughout life can delay dementia symptoms by up to 5 years. Learn a language, pick up an instrument, do puzzles, take a class on something you have always wanted to know. The key is doing things that are actually hard for you, not just stuff you already know how to do. Disclaimer. Before we wrap up, I need to be clear about something. This information is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. If you or someone you love is experiencing any of these symptoms, please talk to your doctor or healthcare provider. They can do proper testing and give you guidance based on your specific situation. Remember, 45% of dementia cases can be prevented. Pick just one strategy from today and start there. If this video helped you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to see this. And tell me in the comments, which strategy are you going to try first?